New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Bro, gnarly.
What's up, Taylor?
Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way.
Way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast an unidentified man whose story was recreated for the TLC TV show Sex Sent Me to the ER. And that's why you don't want to be on. It's not a show you want to be on. Here's the situation. Now, the man and his wife, they were getting themselves ready to have sex. Apparently, it's one of those things. They both woke up in the middle of the night, and it was kind of silently agreed, this is what we're going to do. Now, the husband reached over to the nightstand, applied a generous amount of lube to his palm and fingers, and attempted to grease his weasel, if you will. And I say he attempted to because he failed. So how do you fail at applying lubrication to your own junk? Well, he failed because what he thought was lube was not lube. It was super glue.
Oh, God.
Apparently, he'd fixed a broken lamp with super glue the night before, but he left the glue next to the lube on his nightstand. So he went to the emergency room with his hand firmly stuck to his genitals. Now, the doctor there, Dr. Matthew Valente, he admitted that in his years of being an ER doctor, this was a first. They say there was a large amount of skin that was affixed together. There wasn't just a small amount of glue. It wasn't just one finger. It was, in fact, his entire palm and all of his fingers, which were, quote, tightly affixed to his genitals. Now, the patient's wife, who they say was impatient for the man to get his hand off of his sex organs, so Dr. Valente started researching ways to remove the superglue. The most popular suggestion was nail polish remover. That's a solution that presented certain risk. He says the problem is that when you dump acetone on top of a wound that is partially open, it's incredibly painful. And just the look in his eyes when I told him that, I could tell he did not want to go down that road. Other options included applying hot, almost scalding water to the glue, or simply waiting for the outer layer of skin to fall off, but that's a process that might take 2 to 3 days. Sadly, they did not reveal how they went about the actual process of removing his hand from his genitalia, but the man was eventually freed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Were they in bed?
They were in. So the idea is he had fixed the lamp the night before. He just left the tube up.
You know what, Mike? All right.
They fall asleep. You know, they wake up in the middle of the night. He reaches over because that's where they keep the lube. He grabs the tube, squirts it in his hand, realizes this is not the lube I was looking for. This is super glue. And his hand was just like the kung fu grip on G.I. Joe, except it was his junk. And he had to go to the hospital like that. So we drink to him. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Dill. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Dill, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. Then you already know you have one of 3 options. The wonderful world of drugs, bite me? In other words, what does someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of somebody. Where would you like to go today?
It's got to be interior decorating.
Interior decorating it is. All right, Dell, unfortunately, the story does not involve the butt, but the song and the urethra, just not quite as catchy. But that's what this is about. Now, according to an episode of TLC series, Sex Sent Me to the ER, don't you want to check it out? A man identified only as Sean went to a Chicago emergency room because of a serious pain in his urinary tract. Sean was having trouble urinating, but he would not explain why. The threat of having a catheter inserted into him, that's what got him to spill the beans. The doctor there, Katrina Wynn, she says, quote, a catheter is like truth serum. All of a sudden, the truth comes out. Now, he said that his ailment stemmed from his wife criticizing his sexual performance and daring him to be more adventurous. So to satisfy her, and this is very odd, he decided to spend some time naked in the great outdoors to find his sexual spirit. All right. This is the explanation he's giving. The wife says be more adventurous, so instead of being adventurous in the bedroom, he gets naked and goes outside. Anyway, quote, he's frolicking around, enjoying the sunshine, and being with nature is how he told me this happened. He says as he was out there naked, a creature approached him. This creature climbed Sean's leg and eventually crawled into his urethra. Now, Wynn did, in fact, remove the creature and left Sean with a batch of feelings that he didn't expect. Quote, he found it awkward that he enjoyed the pleasurable sensation. That, according to the doctor. So once he was honest about it, he got real honest about it. The question is, what kind of creature climbs into your urethra when you're out in nature? Was it a legless lizard, a worm, a slug, or a ladybug? So a legless lizard, a worm, a slug, or a ladybug, one of these things climbed up inside of him, and he was okay with that until he couldn't pee.
Wow, how much time did he spend out there?
I don't know, man. They do not say how long he was out there, but I got to imagine you're out there for quite a while for an animal to approach you, and then you let it do what it did. He didn't stop the animal. It did not jump in there and surprise him. This is something that... But to his credit, his wife cannot argue that he is not adventurous.
You said it was a legless lizard?
Legless lizard.
Huh.
Is that just a lizard that's lost its legs, or is that a specific type of lizard?
I don't know.
And where was this about?
Chicago?
And right? Chicago. So somewhere in Illinois, but he ended up in the Chicago emergency room.
I'm going to go for slug, because if he's spending time out there, it's going to... he can take a while.
Okay, Ted?
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's slow-moving pleasure.
It seems like a legless lizard, just a snake.
That would be.
But
my
I know I'm looking at one. It's got to be something different, but it looks like a snake.
I'm gonna Google it.
And he said it felt good.
Yeah, once he came clean to the doctor, he's like, man, oh man, I'm shocked at how much I enjoyed it.
So he couldn't pee, and then the doctor had to get it out, or he got it out on his own?
The doctor had to get it out.
What did he say, slug? Because it took a while?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they're squishy.
Man, I don't know why. I want it to be ladybug.
I'm going ladybug, Ted.
Are you?
Yep.
Why do you want it to be ladybug?
Hey, we all have our thing.
Why do you want it to be a slug, Dill?
He explained it because it's slow. Because the guy admits he enjoyed the quote pleasurable sensation. So Dill's thought on this is slug moves slower than any of these, so it's more tantric. You know what I'm saying?
I want it to be ladybug because that seems like the most normal option.
Does it? Does it really?
I think so.
I'm just saying, if you ask me which one is going in my body, it'd be the ladybug.
This is a weird game show. All right, one of these is going to climb into your urethra.
Okay, what do you think, Ted?
I'm going to go worm.
Worm for Ted.
He's got a worm in his worm.
All right, ladybug for me and slug for Ted. We're going to find out what he put up in there. Was it a legless lizard, a worm, a slug, or a ladybug next?
That was a tease.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back! back!
Relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
Hey, all the Macholos, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
At Avocado, we believe everyone deserves a safe, healthy mattress and a great night's sleep. That's why we're so excited to introduce our new Eco-Organic mattress, starting at just $6.99 with easy financing and made with the same incredibly comfortable, naturally cool materials you've come to expect from Avocado. It's a radically affordable, certified organic mattress held to the highest standards of social and environmental responsibility. Organic sleep awaits at avocadomattress.com.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Subject: interior decorating on profile. This guy was, exploring his sexuality. Woman said maybe he should spice it up or something.
He needs to be more adventurous. I think she meant in the bedroom with her.
So, he goes into the woods naked. Ends up in the emergency room because he either inserted something in his urethra or, as he claimed, something crawled up in there.
That is correct. And then we gave you the options of what that thing might be. Was it a legless lizard, a worm, a slug, or a ladybug? And Dill, we will start with you. Dill, you went with the slug, and I like how you explained it. You're like, look, they're slow moving because the guy admitted, hey, I kind of like the sensation. So it'll last longer, they're slower, they're already kind of pre-squishy, they're pre-lubricated, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, Dill, well, damn it, come on, you son of a bitch. That is not the button.
Wow.
It's just...
What's going on?
There we go.
No.
That was a long way to go to let you know you're wrong. But yeah, you were wrong. It was not a slug, although I agree that would be the least intrusive. Miles Montgomery, you said a ladybug.
Oh, man, I guess I didn't want that one.
Ted Smith went with the worm.
Oh, no way!
A legless lizard.
Damn it, I should have picked him.
It does look like a snake, but I guess they're different. But if you Google it, you will not understand. To me, that is the worst of the four options for that to happen.
Yeah, and that thing was on my screen. I was looking at it. Should have picked it.
Yep, should have picked it. Yeah, legless lizard.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today are the Jimmys,
Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers,
Okay, Seth Meyers.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It's right there in the title. All these guys have teams of professional writers come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke, and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
An ominous alert came out from Apple warning people to keep their iPhone 12 at least 6 inches away from their pacemakers. Is there anything from last year that isn't trying to kill us?
Fallon. Yeah, Fallon.
Kimmel.
For those of you who have the new iPhone 12 and need help keeping your heart beating, an ominous alert from Apple warning customers to keep their iPhone 12 at least 6 inches away from their pacemaker. Is there anything from last year that isn't trying to kill us? Please.
Apple announced you have to keep your iPhone 12 away from your pacemaker. This is bad news for all the grandmothers who like to connect their iPhone to a chest mount when they go base jumping.
Seth Meyers.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
This is bad news for all the grandmothers who like to connect their iPhone to a chest mount when they do base jumping. You know what I'm saying?
In entertainment news, TMZ is reporting that Michael Strahan has tested positive for COVID-19. He had been taking the proper precautions, but he caught the virus due to a gap in judgment.
I hope it's the Ted Smith.
Yeah, I do too.
Ted Smith!
Yeah! Don't ever tell him that joke if you need it. Fall into the... Hey, man, you shop at the Gap? You like the Gap band?
Right.
Oh, you're like a two-base gapper, huh? California.
Jesus. All right,
California.
I know. He's not
California.
California Governor Gavin Newsom lifted the state's coronavirus stay-at-home order, but I don't know if it'll make much difference since most people heard the news from their brunch waiter.
Seth Meyers.
Jimmy Fallon.
That's Seth Meyers.
California Governor Gavin Newsom lifted the state's coronavirus stay-at-home order, though I don't know if it'll make much difference since most people heard the news from their brunch waiter.
I'll go back to brunch once you can.
I'll go back to anything. The only time I have brunch is either like Mother's Day or my mother's birthday. Basically, those are the two times I have brunch.
Brunch, I will say, outside of the fall and football, brunch is like the one good excuse to just be drinking early on a Sunday.
It is,
not
man.
too early, like 10:30, 11, and then just be like, yeah, I'm going to take a nap.
But the kids mess it up, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like...
Brunch is not a kid environment.
Well, I mean, they eat well because, there's everything they could possibly want. The problem is, me and the wife, we want to get rip roaring drunk, but we can't nap all day at home with the kids. Mm-hmm. Sons of bitches.
Tyson Foods is releasing heart-shaped chicken nuggets for Valentine's Day.
Jesus Christ.
Or as I always say, if you want to keep it classy, go with the standard scratch-off tickets and beef jerky.
Yeah, Ted Smith.
That's Jimmy Fallon.
Get this, so the Tyson Foods is releasing heart-shaped chicken nuggets for Valentine's Day. Or as I always say, if you want to keep it classy, go with the standard scratch-off ticket and beef jerky.
You guys got your Valentine's Day's plans?
Oh, of course.
Sure. Months ago.
Yeah, I bet.
Way ahead of the curve on that.
Well, you just got to be careful this year.
Is it on a
Sunday?
Sunday.
Right, so I bet Saturday is going to be, well, I take that back. I don't even know if you can dine in by then.
Who knows?
I was about to say, like, you're going to have that weird menu on the day before.
It's already hard enough to get a table.
Yeah, but here's
without
the problem.
everything else going on.
Now
Before
you're
they
going to have
close
to cook.
90 restaurants.
You're going to have to cook now.
I know the restaurants aren't open again, but you can still make me a special meal.
You got to make your best thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or the thing that she
Ramen
likes.
noodles.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Make the thing she likes. I'm just going to be hungover since it's Sunday. That's my plan.
I already got one.
Right. Turns out I'm booked, ladies.
Yep.
Sorry. All right. Has anybody in here watched Bridgerton?
Bridgerton?
My wife is watching that. I am not.
Okay. I have not watched it either. I have a friend who's very into it. Right. But it's a romance novel.
That's why I'm out. And it's brought to you by Shonda Rhimes. I walked in because I'm like, what the hell is this? She's like, it's Bridgerton. And I'd seen an ad. I'd seen an ad in a magazine, not a televised ad. And it seemed a little sappy for me. I'm like, what's it about? She said, well, it's from Shonda Rhimes. And basically my ears turned off. The woman who did Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, oh, I know who she is. That's why I've tuned out. Yeah.
So the woman that wrote the book, Julia Quinn, she says basically the only reason it's a TV show, which you're right, is weird for a romantic novel to have a TV show, but it's a Netflix series because Shonda Rhimes ran out of stuff to read while she was on vacation.
That's how it came about?
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
The author was she was saying Shonda went on vacation, ran out of stuff to read, just kind of stumbled on the books, liked it enough, wanted to make a series of them.
Okay.
Out of them.
I mean, I don't enjoy Shonda Rhimes' shows. They're not geared for me. But if she said, hey, I want to do a show for you or something you've done, well, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do like the author said, quote, when I got the call, I practically fell off the stool because nobody was adapting romance novels. People will ask me, how did you sell it? And I'll say, I didn't do anything.
I did nothing. But also we're going to hate her in the future because this, as I understand it, has been successful, which means a lot of romance novels will now at least start coming to the streaming services, right?
Which, honestly, that makes sense because,
It does.
how many romantic movies or take away romantic comedies.
Right, not a comedy, just a romantic story. The thing is, you think something like, I don't know, TLC or Lifetime.
That's what I was going to say.
Bravo's going, how do we not do this? We make the 1 hour or 2 hour dumbass shows of Judith Light and Meredith Baxter Burney, and yes, there's love involved, but like Netflix just scooped you on ownership of something. This was yours. You guys have been doing this for decades now. Netflix is like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and adapt a novel.
Yeah, Netflix, I like that. They're just like, yeah, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, what did I finish up the other day? So I watched Lupin. which is The Gentleman Thief. It's based on a series of books that are huge in France.
Okay.
If you don't speak French, which I don't, you could watch it in subtitles or you could watch it dubbed over. I watch Narcos in subtitles because some of it's English too. But for this show, I watched it dubbed over.
Yeah, why not?
It wasn't.
No, you don't have to keep reading.
But do you start staring at their lips?
So here's the deal: was like last year when the pandemic started, I got sucked into a Spanish show called Cocaine Coast.
All right.
Right? And it took me like 2 episodes to realize it was dubbed over. So now I've kind of gotten used to it. And for Lupin, I didn't notice that much huge difference in the there's certainly, obviously there's scenes
right.
You could tell that it's obviously dubbed over. But for me, it wasn't that bad. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I've said to people before, me and Migs were talking about it, it's just like sometimes when I watch a TV, I'll be eating dinner or something. And it's like, if you take a bite of something,
you
look
miss,
down. Right, you're screwed.
Right.
If you happen to look down and somebody texts you, you got to keep hitting reverse. So I was like, I'm not going. Narcos. I'm not reading this. I want to watch TV.
I never heard of anyone who does this, but I guess there's somebody who is a dub over actor.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's got to be a whole troop of them.
Well, I want to say there were at some point in the, I guess the 1970s, there was this limited number of people that lent their voice because at that time we started importing all the martial arts movies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That became huge business. And it was 6 or 7 actors who we are every single voice.
Yeah.
We have the guy that does the old man, and he will talk like this, and he plays the blind guy, or he plays the emperor. And so when you watch these movies, it was always the same voice. Right. And that was it. One guy sounded like a bad guy, one guy sounded like a good guy, and that's how they got their gigs.
Half the stuff that I watch on Pornhub has been dubbed over.
Oh, Poppy.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I like to get the subtitles on that. I think it's really
you
important.
didn't open your mouth and you moaned. I'm not paying attention to this.
Lupin is very good. It's very specific and detailed. Now, I will tell you the bad part is the first, chapter 1 of it is just 5 episodes.
Okay.
And then it just kind of leaves you off. So they did order chapter 2 or whatever, so you got to see it. But if you know anybody that's French, they know all about Arsène Lupin. It's these famous set of books. So it's the guy's not exactly him, but he uses him as an inspiration.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
I got you.
And some of the stuff is super cool. And then if you like a good documentary that's gonna make you feel bad, I recommend Crack.
Crack.
I watched it before. I'm a little upset. Like I say, I always watch gangster shows,
drug shows.
What's that?
Drug shows,
drug shows, comedies, whatever. So I pretty much know the backstory of the crack cocaine epidemic that happens in the 80s and early 90s.
I'm still bitter about it, man.
You should be.
I am.
Everybody should be, but specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched that again last night, and that was one of those ones when it ended. Maybe that's why I woke up in the middle of the night. I was just pissed off.
Is that all about mandatory minimums and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's not just that though. You forget the little things about the Contras and Iran and stuff, and how the CIA is involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they've come clean about it now, but living through that there was a whole coordinated effort. You know what I mean? It's always the same thing, bro. I mean, that's all I got to say. It's always the same thing.
Right, and there's certain other things, too, you forget about. It's just how, it's decimating black communities, but then also, after a certain point...
Why you're bringing it in.
Right, is that other people in the communities, right, in rap songs and stuff, they start kind of embracing it, too, and crack's terrible, this and that. So it's just crazy how it just affects everybody. Right. And look, part of it, too, is, you don't realize you're caught up in a giant scheme.
Yeah, you don't, well, the idea, when you have a really successful scheme, nobody knows.
Yeah. But it is done very well. It's got a ton of different scholars, activists, former users, former dealers. I mean, it gives you a realistic view and stuff. I mean, growing up where I grew up, it's always going to be about Len Bias, but
sure.
Right. This one's kind of funny. Well, you know what? Sticking with drugs. Martha Stewart is going to start selling cannabis treats for dogs.
All right.
CBD stuff?
Yeah.
My dog could use it, man.
Well, and that's the thing. Steve Miggs and I were talking about it in a brand new episode of the Megacast, out now.
Good tease.
Yeah, I know. We're the goats of podcasting.
Now,
of course, you're talking about the podcast.
Does this mellow the dog out? Does it give the dog a buzz, or is this pain relief?
So it's CBD could be both, but some of the stuff you see for dogs is just kind of it's just going to put them to sleep,
right?
Which a lot of people don't want to do. You just don't want your dog having that crazy anxiety.
That's what I was going to say. If a dog has separation anxiety and you put a couple drops on their food before you go to work every day, and it just kind of mellows them out a little bit.
One drop for you, one for me.
So it doesn't, go nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's cool, right? Look, I mean, Martha Stewart, obviously, she's behind it. By the way, did you see that picture of Martha Stewart yesterday?
No.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, Martha Stewart's got to be in her 70s. I mean, that's a vintage thirst trap.
Okay.
I was just scrolling through Twitter and had to stop. I was like, who is that? I was like, oh, man. That's
Martha.
She likes him young, too.
She does.
Wouldn't you? If you're Martha Stewart, single, you can do whatever you want.
But
she got a 23-year-old over here.
As she was saying, just as CBD can help support human wellness, it's been shown to improve the quality of life for pets as well. Which, I agree with her. Sometimes, I like smoking weed, but sometimes you just want a little CBD to kind of chill out.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you got a little case of the Sundays, a little rundown, or
get your dog the munchies. Like, we're going through so much food now.
Well, it depends on the dog. I mean, Miles had the evil that is the beagle. Mm-hmm. I mean, those things always have the munchies. They'll eat themselves to death.
And separation anxiety.
Oh, what a wonderful breed.
Yeah, I mean, look, I tell people that all the time, right? And they're like, doesn't smoke weed make you have the munchies? It's like, it does. Mm-hmm. But again, I weighed 360 pounds before I ever smoked weed. So I like the munchies. I was kind of born with the munchies.
We all liked food before we started smoking weed.
Yeah,
precisely.
Right? You know what I mean?
Like survival.
I talk to people in my family, and I won't mention names, but one person in my family just was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to stop drinking, blah, blah, blah. So, but we were talking after Christmas, and they were like, yeah, I put on a few pounds. So somebody else in my family goes, how'd they put on weight? They're not even drinking anymore. I said, but they still get hungry. It's still the holidays.
Right.
It's
the holidays.
Right. Sometimes I think it's almost easier to write off stuff like, I was hammered, I shouldn't eat and all that. It's like, or maybe you were just bored.
Beer fills you up.
It does. Depending what you drink, right?
Right. It's
you
that
have 3 before you eat, man.
It's the next day when you're hungover and it's about 3:00. That's when you got to worry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You are listening to the Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Bro, gnarly. What's up, Taylor? Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man. Dude, no way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro. Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case. Dude, no way. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
At Avocado, we believe everyone deserves a safe, healthy mattress and a great night's sleep. That's why we're so excited to introduce our new Eco-Organic mattress, starting at just $6.99 with easy financing and made with the same incredibly comfortable, naturally cool materials you've come to expect from Avocado. It's a radically affordable, certified organic mattress held to the highest standards of social and environmental responsibility. Organic sleep awaits at avocadomattress.com.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Woman goes viral after doing a TV interview with a very large sex toy behind her. Meanwhile, there's a new, more accurate COVID test that fans of plugs will prefer. Man hits 2 deer with brand new car, then hits for $2 million in the state lottery. Facebook flags post containing Whole Landmark, a beautiful place across the sea. And Florida leads the world in shark attacks. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Our top story, BBC Wales is trending online for an interesting interview conducted recently. The woman that was being interviewed and is now going viral online was talking about the effects of the pandemic on the job force, saying that people were being passed over for jobs during the pandemic. But that is not at all why people are talking about her. She's making headlines for the massive sex toy that she had sitting on a top shelf in her home. This thing's huge.
You know what? I like her.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it's a little bookshelf that's kind of, I don't know if it's on her desk or just in the background, whatever it is, but it's literally just sitting right there on the top shelf.
What I like about it is, normally, if you're going to have a sex toy, it'd probably be in the bedroom. This is her active space where she does her Zoom calls or whatever the hell. So I had a feeling when she's ready to go, man, it's just...
Yeah.
I'm saying that's not the only one.
She's got a teenager with a sense of humor.
Kind of stacked it for her.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Mom's doing okay, I got this.
But the problem is, this is on the BBC. This isn't just she's on a Zoom call.
That's why Billy.
Right.
Billy, goddammit.
Sure, she sits in that same spot for everything she does online. You know what I mean?
Which channel was it on?
BBC Wales.
That's what shocked me about the color of it.
Well, if you saw the size of it, Ted, that's a whale's penis, all right.
Yeah, I looked at that thing. I was like, holy hell. There's no man out there pleasing her.
Next time you see her, she'll be with Manute Bowl.
Man, oh man. I don't date men under 6'8".
And I'm talking about their penis.
Oh, mercy. Another news, sticking with the UK, a small town is up in arms at Facebook for going overboard with censorship. There's a local landmark in the city of Plymouth, which is nothing more than a seaside hill that Sir Francis Drake was known to be at before he shipped off to beat the Spanish Armada. People love to visit the area, enjoy the sights on a nice day, and post about it online, but Facebook has been censoring the posts because they use the area's proper name, Plymouth Hoe.
Yeah.
Hoe being an Anglo-Saxon word meaning a sloping hill or ridge generally in the shape of like an inverted foot.
That ain't what it mean no more.
Facebook has been censoring the post, saying that it uses offensive and misogynistic language.
Yeah.
Plymouth Hoe.
Plymouth Hoe. I'd dig it. I'd rather see that than Plymouth Rock. You see that Plymouth Hoe?
And you know that the locals are taking advantage of it.
Sure.
Oh, no, it's just the Anglo-Saxon. No, you know what you're doing. Jerk.
A hoe is also a garden, you know.
Right.
But that's not how we use it.
Exactly.
Ho, ho, ho. I think Santa says because he's happy.
That's not actually what he's talking about.
Oh, man. Drama at Chick-fil-A in Atlanta after a woman was dissatisfied with new COVID safety regulations. The woman attempted to walk into her local chain when she was told that the dining room was closed due to safety restrictions. Just when they thought that they were rid of the woman, she arrived at the drive-thru window in her white sedan along with two other women, and the trio began to scream at the employees, banging on the window, and even attempting to climb in through it. It all came to a head when the three were grabbing nearby cement blocks and hurling them at the window.
Jesus.
Video was taken and sent to authorities that are investigating the incident.
Again, if I'm Chick-fil-A, you don't have to explain it down. I would use them in an ad. How good are our sandwiches? Seriously, roll the footage. Like, these bitches went crazy. They have lost their goddamn mind.
How nice is our dining area?
Right.
These chicks like zombies trying to break in through the window.
I would have been if you're McDonald's and someone freaks out because the ice cream machine's down. How good are our milkshakes? Roll tape. You know? Like, that's how good this ass is.
Dropping in bombs.
Yeah. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Show me the footage and you go like, that must be a good-ass chicken sandwich. I mean, real good.
Popeyes would do real well with that commercial.
She's trying to climb through the goddamn drive-thru window. That's how good our food is. And that doesn't happen at Olive Garden, does it? No.
How far would you walk for a...
Man, you're a doggone marketing genius. Holy cow.
I'm just saying, the footage is there.
Right. Use it. A whirlwind of a day for a man in North Carolina. On his way to work that morning in his brand new car, he had the misfortune of hitting not one but two deer on the way in.
Total discard, too.
He did. His brand spanking new car. Depressed, the man finished his day, went home, and then went back to bed. And after he woke up from his nap, he figured he'd check on his lottery tickets, and his day took a turn for the better. His numbers matched up with the winning numbers, netting him a $1 million jackpot. But that is not all. He also won the 2X Megaplier.
Yeah!
Oh, he also got $2 million. That is it for headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you. We appreciate it, sir. We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy. And the head chef is back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.